Dare to Lead by Brené Brown. Daring leadership is a collection of 4 skill sets: rumbling with vulnerability, living into our values, braving trust, and learning to rise. Rumbling with vulnerability means vulnerable in your relationship with others in every meeting, emails, phone calls, and face-to-face conversation. Vulnerability feels like being excited and afraid all at the same time. Discover your values. Why? Because they believe in something deeper and more profound, or in other words, because they have discovered their values and know that they are bigger than any misfortune, no matter how big it is. I define a leader as anyone who takes responsibility for finding the potential in people and processes, and who has the courage to develop that potential. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of my life, I want to say I contributed more than I criticized. Show up for people in pain and don't look away. Third is braving trust. Means integrity is choosing courage over comfort. It's choosing what's right over what's fun, fast, or easy. And it's practicing your values, not just professing them. Fourth is learning to rise. When we have the courage to walk into our story and own it, and we get to write the ending. If you can narrow your core values down to just 2, you can navigate even the toughest of times. Clear communication is kind and respectful. Unclear communication is unkind. Leaders cannot afford this luxury and must be transparent in their communication. Teammates who don't know what is expected of them could end up being blamed for underperforming. A lack of communication does damage to any team. Vulnerability, by definition, is insecurity, and insecurity means risk. And since only those who risk win, vulnerability is not an antonym to courage, but basically it's necessary requirement. The courage to be vulnerable is not about winning or losing. It's about the courage to show up when you can't predict or control the outcome. For example, people who invest money in order to start a business, they don't know the future of or some of the most vulnerable people you will ever meet. Regarding feedback, we all need people who give us feedback. That's how we improve. Feeding people half-truth or bullshit to them feel better is unkind. If you listen to your employees and share with them your sincere sentiments about them, then you have made your first step towards building a culture of trust in your workplace. Leadership is not about titles or the corner office. It's about the willingness to step up, put yourself out there, and lean into courage. The world is desperate for braver leaders. It's time for all of us to step up. You will look at what concepts such as trust, honesty, and failures can tell you about daring leadership, and challenge conventional wisdom about how the most successful among us operate. You will also discover the impact of your values, emotions, and interpersonal relationship on your effectiveness as a leader.